What it do, YouTube? It is your boy. Oh, maintain in this piece. And right now, I am about to react to the times idiot cops arrested the FBI. You know how stupid you gotta be to get arrested by the cops? Or what do you want? I'm not answering that. You know how stupid you gotta be to get arrested by the cops? Very, very fucking stupid. But I want to see how stupid you are. Let's see.
In this video, we'll be taking a look at some instances where cops arrested people who later turned out to be FBI. Let's get to it. This might just be one of the best interactions with police I've seen in a long time. A South Sudanese citizen was just sitting and minding his own business when cops approached him and started asking questions.
For what? Because I think you have warrant. You think? Yeah. That's an illusion. You think?
It seems like they're assuming that this man is someone he's not. The man accuses the cops of racial profiling right from the get-go. After a lot of arguing, they put the man in handcuffs. Now this is where things get heated. You can hear the man asking the cops to check his ID.
Matter of fact, look at my ID.
After a while, they finally do check his ID.
Hey, watch how funny this is. Go ahead,
Watch
look at
this.
it. No, don't hate me. Look at it. Oh,
You
what does
guys
that
got
say?
it fucked up.
What does that say? Oh.
And it hits them like a ton of bricks. Do you see the shock on their faces? That's all because the guy is an FBI agent. This has to be one of the best messing with the wrong guy encounters ever. Anyway, the man asks for a supervisor, and when he arrives, the man asks for their cards.
Your card is yours. Yep, you can have my card. And I'm gonna follow the report on you, and you. Because you guys are all stupid.
It's funny how the cops have shut their mouths at this point, and look at the supervisor. He's shaking in his boots. They all know they might not have a job after this encounter. Here you can see a cop talking to him.
And I'm just gonna take y'all through a true thought process of someone who's going through that moment right now. They're not thinking about what's going to happen to them. They're thinking like, bruh, we could have just whooped his ass just now. It wasn't about our day. But that would have been even fucking worse. Because that black man got power. Touching him, you might have to kill him. You might have to kill him. But you can't do that. You cannot. You cannot. I won't allow it. He won't allow it. And the world won't allow it. And God didn't allow it at that moment in time. May the Lord, may the Lord bless us all. Because, it's too much evil going on in this world, and it all needs to stop right now. Let's finish this video. I don't want to get too deep into it.
Man who says he's an FBI agent. The man even shows the cop his credentials, but the cop still doesn't trust him, so he calls the station and asks to check the plates.
Advanced Wiring Company.
Do you work for a wiring company?
Further.
It's a covert vehicle, sir. Okay.
When it comes back to a wiring company and not a government agency, the man says that it's a covert vehicle. Here we learn that the man actually called this cop, and the cop is wondering how he got his phone number.
One who called me here, sir. How did you get my phone number? I can't give you that information. I ain't saying he can't tell me how he got my information.
The cop then lets this guy know that he's been detained at this point, but he doesn't put him in handcuffs just yet. The reason why he's detaining him is that he's not being cooperative. When the guy asks the cop if he wants his registration, the cop refuses and says that he's waiting for his supervisor.
Would you like to see the registration, sir? I don't really want anything from you at this point. My supervisor's on the way. Excellent.
The cop then speaks on his radio some more and says that the man's name is Special Agent Hatton out of Jacksonville. The cops add that the man keeps talking on his radio, but nothing comes back. Then he changes his mind and says that he does hear something now. In any case, they keep checking the man, but when they couldn't confirm anything, they finally put him in cuffs. After spending some time in a police car, the man asks the cop to call an ambulance.
On 911, call. I need a medical attention right now. Unlock me.
When the ambulance finally arrives, the cop explains the whole situation and says that the man complains about shortness of breath and vision loss.
Started complaining of shortness of breath, vision loss.
While paramedics are putting the guy in their vehicle, the cop is making excuses for himself. He says that the guy turned out to be legit, but that he was acting suspicious and that's why he was detained. This video starts
No,
with the
no,
arrest
that-
of
that
one
man might
man.
be having a
After the
heart
cops
attack.
put him in
Who
handcuffs,
are you?
one of them asks him
He
about
probably
his
never been
credentials.
in the
When
situation
the
where
guy
the cops
says
have
that the
in his
FBI
life, and he
issued
got
those
the
for
job
him
as an
back when he was
FBI
working for them, the cop starts reading the man his rights.
So the right to remain silent. Anything you say can will be used in the court of law. If the right to talk to an attorney have been present with you prior to any question you wish one. Sure. If you cannot afford one will be provided to you by the courts.
Then he says that he arrested him because of red and blue lights.
So the reason you're in cuffs, okay, is per NRS. Unless you're a sworn officer. I know Nevada investigation. Yeah, you're not allowed to have red and blues. Sure.
He then goes back to this man's credentials and is surprised that he worked for the FBI.
You work for the FBI at one point?
I've contracted with the Department of Justice and the FBI.
The guy reveals that he contracted with the FBI and also the Department of Justice. He then goes on to explain his current job and where he was headed.
A contractor for Southwest Gas.
For Southwest, so that's like
That's
your
here, yeah.
That's your primary job.
Yeah, that's my part-time job, and I have my own cybersecurity company.
The video cuts out, so we can't really see what happened next, but you can just tell that the cops knew they had the wrong guy. Now, this one's a prime example of cops making excuses for themselves after bullying people, even when those people are federal agents. But let's start from the beginning, shall we? You can first see a cop shouting at a man, asking to see his hands.
Let me see your hands. I need to see some ID. Get on the ground.
The man obeys, but he lets the cop know that he's a federal agent.
Federal agent. Get
I
on the
remember
ground.
this. I remember this.
That's where the cop starts getting even more
I
aggressive.
remember this. I'm gonna tell y'all the story about that one right there. If they don't say it.
And now he's demanding that this man get to the ground. And yeah, he's got a gun pulled out and pointed at the man this whole time. The guy wants to show the cop his credentials, but the cop won't listen. He just wants this guy on the ground. When the backup arrives, the guy has no other choice but to get to the ground.
Face down. You are the one making the mistake. Settle down. Face down.
The cops arrest him, and when he asks them to calm down and give him some air because he's got a medical condition, they ignore him and ask him to move his legs and get into the car. When he doesn't do it, they just tase him and put him in the car forcefully.
Down and breathe. Let me breathe. I have a medical condition. We're gonna get air to you. Get your legs in. Get your legs in. We're closing this door. Sir, get your legs in. I need air. Sir, please call an ambulance. I'm asking for an ambulance. You got a medic coming. Get in the car.
I don't need the
The taser didn't bother. You just said call an ambulance. If you don't. Yeah, now you don't want one. Get in the car. In the car. Get all the way in. I can't breathe. I'll go around. Wait, sir.
Okay, this video is not about cops arresting federal.
Okay, let me tell y'all what really happened in that video. So, there was a guy who had certain guns that he should not have. And I think he made a post about it, and an ATF agent got sent to his house. The ATF agent knocked on the door and identified himself as an ATF agent. The guy then proceeds to call the police. It says, "There's a man pretending to be an ATF agent on my doorstep. He doesn't have any uniform on." And I don't believe him. He did not show me any credentials or nothing. He has this fake paperwork saying that whatever. And the cops show up. Hold this dude up at gunpoint. Money was scared for his fucking life. Fuck the cops. Fuck police. Fuck the ATF. Man, that was funny. I remember I seen that job like a while ago. It was like last year when I seen that. And I was astonished because like I didn't know you could do that. And it gave me an idea. But I ain't gonna tell you about my ideas.
Agents, but we just had to include it as it's a prime example of cops being bullies. Two police officers with the Kansas City Police Department, Cole Modir and Marco Olivas, were following a car for a good mile in Raytown, Missouri. They stopped a car and a man comes out. One of the officers explains that they stopped him after the plates didn't come back to anything.
The plates don't come back to anything, so you're still doing traffic stop on you.
He then straight up calls him bro and asks him where he's headed.
Okay. Where you at, bro? I'll be taking the
The man is stumped by this and says he's a detective. The cop then tells him to chill out. While returning to their car, they can be heard calling the man names. After this uncomfortable encounter, Robinson, who is black, said that the stop was illegal. He thought he would not have been pulled over had he been white. Civil rights activists, police experts, and academics in law said that the stop was a prime example of toxic racial culture in the department. Here's one case of police arresting an FBI agent where they weren't in the wrong. This video shows cops from the Grand Rapids, Michigan Police Department running after and subsequently putting cuffs on a man who's clearly intoxicated and doesn't know what he's talking about. You don't see that in the video, but the man actually fired his weapon at the police just outside a gym.
He did?
While they were putting him in cuffs, one of the officers realized that the man had a badge. When she looked at the badge, she realized a shocking thing, that the man is actually an FBI agent.
He's got a badge.
Oh, no, sir.
Well, he just got
Federal
fired.
Bureau of... He's an FBI agent.
Oh, wow. I would have never guessed that just from watching the video. What?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, man. What the world is wrong with these people? Bro, these folks is ruthless. The police be dumb at times. I mean, dumb all the time. The ones I deal with up here, they retarded. Jesus. Oop. The ones I deal with up here, they remedial, bro. I can't deal. Shit. Let me just... good lord. Look, bro, hey. It's a good video. I don't like the police, though. I don't like the FBI either. I was about to be the police. I was about to be the police. Something I did not like. But I was about to do it, though. And I still will. Just because I love to help my community. I'm not going to be like one of these new officers that just let people go with warrants for this. I'm going to actually do my job. It's just, I can't deal with all the corruptness inside the departments right now. And it's too many races inside these departments and prejudice inside these departments. I can't deal, which is why I don't deal with like police like that. I rather handle my issues by myself. So, which is why I'm going to stick to doing armed security. So, yo, if you like this video, hit the like button, share this video, subscribe to the channel for content like this. If you want to see more content like this, drop it in the comments. Hit the post notification bell to get notified every time we post, and I'll see you in the next video. See you in the next one. Deuces, deuces, deuces.